Alright, now that we're finally in the release period of Honkai Star Rail, we're going to be talking about one of the most important questions when it comes to starting your account, which is Seele worth it as our first limited 5-star unit? Now, Seele has a very big bar to uphold, not only because she's our first 5-star unit of Honkai Star Rail, but she's also a first DPS 5-star unit in Honkai Star Rail, and she is a very popular mainstay unit in Honkai Impact. So yes, she has a lot to live up to. She has a lot of hype behind her. Right now, she is the sought after prize for a lot of people's accounts, especially mine, because she's one of my favorite characters in Honkai Impact. So today we're going to be talking about Seele, her 4 stars, and her light cone. Are they worth it? Should you summon for her, or should you just wait for other units like Kafka, Silver Wolf, or even Jingwan, who's coming right after Seele? But before we get into the rest of this video, make sure to leave a like and a sub for more future Honkai Star Rail content, Honkai Impact content, and Genshin Impact content. We'll be covering all of these games, and also if you have the time when Honkai Star Rail releases, make sure to come by the Twitch stream because I will be streaming. I don't want to be lonely, but other than that, that's going to be it for that. Let's go ahead and start with the video talking about Seele, her 4 stars, and her light cone. Now, like I said, Seele is going to be our first 5-star DPS unit. She will be sporting the quantum type damage type, so this is going to be very important when coming across quantum shields. She falls into one of the 2 DPS types, one being single target and the other being multi-target. Now for Seele, she is a single target unit but has a unique passive where she's able to redo her turn after she defeats someone. Now this only happens one time, and then once she loses her turn, or once she finishes that second turn, she cannot do that passive again until it's her turn again. So you can do some cool stuff with Bronya, which is really one of her best units to be paired up with, and have her do infinite attacks if you're able to re-give Seele her turn. Now Seele does give herself a lot of buffs when she's in her attack or her turn, because not only does she get speed off of her skill, she's also able to go into a buff state from her ultimate, and she gets more damage and more quantum penetration on her ult as well. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on with Seele, and she's going to be doing some nasty damage. Now she does have some really cool passives and traces. For one of them is going to be when she is under 50% HP, she's going to have a less chance of getting attacked by other enemies, so this is going to help her not get knocked out as easily. Her second passive is when she uses a basic attack. Her next action is going to be advance forward by 20%, so you will be getting faster turns with Seele. And then, like I said, on her last passive, when she's in her buff state from her burst, she's going to be able to get quantum res penetration increased by 20%. So it's going to be making breaking quantum shields very easy and make it very nice. Now for the most part, as I said before, she's going to be absolutely amazing when it comes to single target damage, and she does have that unique passive of being able to have multiple turns in one turn. So you will be able to do damage to not only one unit but another as well. Not the full wave, but at least you'll be able to do more damage to multiple units with a high single target damage. That's really good. Unlike Jingwan, who's more of an AoE unit, and he does some pretty nice damage, but when it comes to bosses, when you're not dealing with AoE type units, Seele is definitely going to be the MVP when it comes to the DPS as of now, because we never know what can come out later. Now, as far as we know, we don't know how important etalons are going to be in the future of the game. For the most part, a lot of these characters' etalons, whether it be limited 5-star, standard 5-star, or 4-star, don't really impact them as crazy as a lot of, the Genshin Impact constellations or the Honkai Impact rank ups. So we're going to have to see how these etalons play out, but let's go ahead and start talking about Seele. For Seele, off of her skill, she's going to get her speed boost effect, and it can speed up or stack up to 2 times more. So this is going to help her get a fat ton of turns per round, so this is going to help a lot when giving her a bunch of turns to do her damage. Her etalon 2 is going to be when an enemy whose HP is 50% or lower, she's going to gain 15% crit rate. So this is going to help a lot with finishing those enemies off and possibly getting that second turn. So this is going to help a lot for her etalon 2. For etalon 3, her skill is going to be increased by 2, and her talent levels are going to be increased by 2 as well. So this is really nice to see. For her etalon 4, she's going to regenerate to 15 energy when she defeats an enemy. So this is going to make it a lot easier to be able to spam her burst, which is going to be her main point of damage and do a big chunk of damage. So having that energy back is going to help a lot and make it easier so that you don't have to build a bunch of energy on your relics. For etalon 5, her ultimate is going to be +2, and the basic attack is going to be up by +1. And then for etalon 6, we're going to be getting when Seele uses her ultimate, she's going to be inflicting Butterfly Flurry to one enemy, and when you get Butterfly Flurry on you, you will take additional quantum damage of Seele's ultimate by 18% every time they are attacked. If the enemy is defeated by the Butterfly Flurry, you won't be getting your extra turn that Seele gets when she defeats an enemy, and when Seele is knocked out, she will lose that status effect, or the enemies will lose that status effect that she inflicted on them. So these are some pretty cool things. You can see etalon 6 added a whole new mechanic to Seele, said. So other than that, these are some really cool things to look about. She's going to be amazing for single target damage. She's going to be good for doing multiple damage instances to many enemies because she gives that extra turn when she knocks out characters. But let's go ahead and start talking about the 4 stars because I think they're going to be just as important when talking about should you summon on that banner. Now for one of the characters who's going to be very important in all honesty, I think is going to be Pila, because not only is she on the 4-star banner with Seele, she's able to do defense shred and also do more damage to enemies that are debuffed. Now she is currently the only character in the game that's able to do a defense shred, and I think that's very important in how valuable that can be, especially because, you know, having defense shred is going to be able to boost that damage up by so much, and with paired up with Seele, being able to knock out these characters, being able to get that extra turn is going to help you increase your DPS per round. Now a lot of her etalons and a lot of her talents are going to be giving her energy, so she's able to constantly be able to put this debuff on the enemies from her ultimate. So yeah, this is something very exciting to look at, especially hopefully I get Pila in a good amount of her etalons when I summon for her. But let's go ahead and talk about our other character that's going to be a very nice pickup as well, which is Natasha. Now besides Pila being the debuffer slash defense shred, Natasha is going to be our healer, and she's a very good one at that. She's also going to be a free unit, so you're going to end up getting some etalons if you do end up getting Natasha. Natasha is a good point blank healer and a healing overtime unit, so it's nice to have her on the banner. And another unit that might be a miss, it depends because I don't have a lot of, I guess you say, experience with this character, is Hook. Now Hook is a fire DPS unit that's a 4-star. Now when I played with them, they felt a little clunky because of, you know, the energy issues in all honesty, but they do have a cool mechanic with using the ultimate and then using the skill, and you get a supercharged version of her skill. It's just really cool to look at. But other than that, that's pretty much it for Sele's banner. She does look very exciting, she does look very good, especially for single target usage. But let's go ahead and talk about her light cone next. Her light cone is going to be helping a fair amount when increasing her damage, because this is the passive that it gives. Increase the wearer's crit rate by 12% while the wearer is in battle for every 10 speed that exceeds 100. Increase the wearer's basic attack and skill damage by 6%, and increase the crit damage of their ultimate by 8%. And this effect can stack up to 8 times. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of percentage boost for your skill, for your basic attack, for your crit damage on your ultimate. It's going to help a lot, and especially because you want to be building up that speed, you're going to be getting speed from Sele's skill. This is going to help a lot to be able to stack up on this light cone. Now another thing that's very important to look at if you're going to be summoning for a light cone are the 4-star light cones that drop with it. And remember, these light cones can be equipped on other characters that are not just their signature character's light cone, so these light cones could end up being really good to look at. For one of them is going to be Pila's light cone, which is going to be for every debuff the target enemy has, the damage dealt from the wearer is going to go up by 12%. This can stack up to 3 times, and this effect can also apply dot, or it also applies dot. This is going to be really good, but it's not the craziest thing for Pila because she's not going to be there 100% for the damage. This does help with a little bit extra DPS per round, but overall this is going to be nice just for the, you know, fact that you can stack up a little DPS. I think this will be better on other units in the future, in all honesty, and not for Pila. Now the next light cone that we're going to be talking about is Natasha's. Now I think Natasha is going to be absolutely amazing with his light cone. It is going to be increased energy regeneration rate of his wearer by 8%, and increases outgoing healing with the use of their ultimate by 12%. So having that extra healing, having that extra energy regeneration rate is going to help Natasha be able to use her burst non-stop, and is going to be really cool to have. And then we have Hook's light cone, which is going to be for every basic attack, skill, and ultimate used by the wearer. The wearer gains 1 stack of mischievous, and each stack increases the wearer's attack by 12%. So yeah, this is going to help a lot in a lot of DPSs if you get this light cone. I think these light cones are all really good except the Pila one. I think the Pila one will work on another character in the future and not necessarily on Pila, but I guess you could say Hooks and Natasha's are going to be really great and really universal for a lot of other characters in the future, and especially Sele's. This one's going to be very signature to her, just because it relies on you gaining speed and you capping out your speed to a certain number. With Seele, she wants to have that speed, she wants to get those extra turns, she wants to, you know, you get the speed from her skills. So this is going to be very good for her. I don't see this being very great on other characters unless they also rely and boost on speed as well. So the light cone might be a little bit of a skip, because I do want to say that Jing Wan's in the future is going to be a lot better, because wait till you hear this. For Jing Wan's light cone, it is going to be increases the wearer's crit damage by 32%, increase the wearer's skill and ultimate damage by 20%. After the wearer uses their skill or ultimate, they gain this status effect. Upon triggering a follow-up attack, this status effect will be consumed, and the follow-up damage will be 48%. Holy, yeah, this is going to be a nasty, and I mean a nasty light cone to have on a lot of different characters. This is the one you might want to summon on rather than Seele's. I think if you are going to be building Seele in a hyper investment type way, then yes, the light cone would be absolutely amazing to have. But in terms of universal use, I think Jing Wan's is going to end up being better in the future, and the ones we can get in the future will be pretty great as well. If you're going to go for Seele, I do think this is a good banner because Pila, like I said, is the only defense threat in the game. Natasha is one of the best point blank healers in the game that's not a 5-star, and then Hook, you know, is Hook not the 100% the best thing in the world, but it will help. So I do think Seele is worth summoning on, but remember, she is single target. She will help with hitting enemies after she's done defeating one, so she's able to hit multiple. But Jing Wan's gonna focus more on AoE, so if you're gonna want to clear waves a lot faster, you might want to wait for Jing Wan. If you want to go for Seele and have really nice big chunk of single target damage, then Seele might be the one for you. So other than that, that's going to be it for this video. I'm very excited for Seele. I'm very excited for Honkai Star Rail. Remember, if you made it this far, you might as well come over to the Twitch channel when Honkai Star Rail drops so that we can, you know, spend some time together in that live stream. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.